All right, good morning, folks. Hope y'all doing well. This morning, 4:15 in the morning here, Eastern Time, here in Georgia. Uh, excuse the clear my throat and stuff, but I feel like I'm coming down with a cold or something. Uh, so apologize for that. But happy Tuesday. Uh, we have Imelda out here, just east of Florida. Um, got less organized overnight, but looks like convection is building back in. Lots of defluence aloft here, and parting some shear onto Humberto. See, Humberto is sheared off to the south here like this. Uh, and you can see that a little bit closer here. Humberto, close up. See the demarcation there. Very sharp, no outflow to the north. So likely to not strengthen anymore and pass to the northeast Bermuda, but its wind field is pretty large, so there'll still be some impacts on wave, winds, and rip currents. This is Imelda here. Looks like the center is roughly, can't really tell, but roughly about here. So most of convection on the eastern side with drier air building um, underneath it right here. See the water vapor loop. The yellows depicting dry air all along, coming like in this way, all on the backside. But it's tempered by warm waters and defluence aloft, like I talk about. So it's still forecast to become a hurricane. And so now that it's 5 a.m., here's the latest advisory um, for Imelda. Hurricane watch is now out for Bermuda. I know this is hard to see. I'll bring up another graphic in a minute, but isolated flash flooding along the southeast coast and swells along the east coast, of course, with hurricane winds, um, at least tropical storm force winds expected on Bermuda, if not hurricane force. And the National Hurricane Center has noted this will be a hybrid type system that passes over Bermuda, but with a likelihood of a sting jet um, developing as it interacts with the trough, which will enhance its wind field and potentially strengthen it into a hybrid type system right as it approaches Bermuda. So Bermuda needs to keep an eye on this. It's supposed to be a hurricane later today. If we go back, um, watches and warnings. Well, it's Imelda there. The hurricane watch is in effect. You see the wind field with Imelda is relatively large, but obviously not impacting the continental U.S., but you see it's already turning to the right. So uh, this is the arrival time, earliest arrival time of reasonable Wednesday, between Wednesday 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., most likely around Wednesday at 8 p.m. in Bermuda. Uh, excuse me for sniffling again. I apologize, but man. All right. So I'm going to go through the wind speed probability, see if it's changed. This is at 2 a.m. Tropical storm force winds probabilities right over Bermuda. Okay. And 50 knot winds. Uh, very high chance of it being over Bermuda. Um, I would say, you know, down the hatches on Bermuda right now, given this cone, how tight it is. Hurricane wind probabilities. This has changed a lot since the last advisory. This is up to 40-50% chance of hurricane force winds being over Bermuda. Okay. So that's changed. So there's more likelihood of Bermuda being impacted. And of course, they're always prepared for this kind of stuff, but we're going to keep talking about it till it gets past there. So what's the update on the tropics as far as future, as far as rainfall goes for Imelda? Associated with Imelda anyway, marginal risk of excessive rainfall um, is issued yesterday at 4:30 in the morning and is valid through 8 a.m. today. So chances are this will be brought down in the next outlook um, to probably closer to the coast. And this is the rip current risk. I show you this every day because probably this is the most impactful, at least in the continental U.S. for these two storms and in Bermuda. But it doesn't really show that here. But um, again, swells, winds on Bermuda, and rip currents, and along the east coast. Just rip currents and some rainfall up in the southeast coast, which is today's probably the last day you'll see a lot of that. Let's see. Going over the latest ensembles. Let's go. Start with the Google DeepMind. There's Humberto. There's Imelda. I took the tracks off because they're so close together. Really deeply clustered here. Uh, tightly clustered, excuse me, around Bermuda. Likely to have some impacts, whether or not it makes a direct landfall or not. Going back, this is another Google DeepMind model. There's Humberto. There's Imelda. Straight over Bermuda again. Okay. This was the European ensembles. Take the tracks off. There we go. All right. Won't hold on to Humberto a while longer, but you see the lows get kind of mixed together, but it looks like the European ensembles want to go a little bit further south. Take the lows. All right. And the GFS. GFS has this little low in the Gulf hanging around, but there's no convection associated with it. So take the tracks off. As you can see, they all want to go near or right over Bermuda in 2 days. Okay. At 500 millibars, this is a good way to show the mid-level flow pattern, right, of the two systems out here. We got Imelda. They look further away than they really are. Let me go the recent run here. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't have the most recent run. I apologize for that. This is it here. That's better. Imelda, Humberto. doing a little dance right there. Both get caught up in the trough digging along the east coast and move out to sea. You see what's happening here towards the middle of the week? You have a general lowering in pressure here uh, towards the end of the week. Let's see, Saturday. General lowering in pressure here along the Gulf Coast and along the southeast coast here of Florida. And the GFS was hinting at something possibly developing here around this time period, a week low. So there may be something to that based on this pressure, um, lower pressures, but we have to look at the surface pressures to determine that. At least the heights here, maybe it's an upper level feature. Okay. But I apologize for the sniffling, guys. Just not feeling too great this morning. Uh, what's in store for the tropics after Imelda and Humberto get out of the way? And we're going to keep talking about them until they get past Bermuda. Um, so that's what we'll do next. We'll talk about the future tropics. Goes. It's a little bit small to see, but this is a European output showing, probability of tropical depression, storm, and hurricane forming. Obviously, high chances for both, and for Imelda and Humberto. Moving through 96 hours. You see there's some support again off the southeast coast out here in the MDR and along the African coastline here. And I'm just seeing this on the model guidance. You go through to the 6th of October, right off the African coast, off the southeast coast once again, and off the eastern Pacific. Low chances, but not zero. Okay. Moving through to 7 October. Chances increase a little bit out here in the tropical Atlantic for a depression, still on the southeast coast in this area here along the Lesser Antilles. Excuse me. And then we start having some support for the Gulf of Mexico and still this area here in the main development region. So tropical season is not over yet, guys. It looks like to me like the Central American gyre and the Gulf of Mexico is gonna start coming into play a lot more in the coming weeks. So, and we'll have an update on the from the CPC Climate Prediction Center on the tropical outlook today too. So I'll post that later.